name is Ken Larkin. Some of you, I think you all probably know him. He's the secretary of the Ballyfermot Heritage Group, and he's also responsible for the amazing Flickr page that has all those wonderful photographs of Ballyfermot, and it's had something like 33 million views worldwide, and lots of people who live abroad actually use the page as a sort of a way of showing their like second generation family of where they came from. So it's a really amazing resource, and he does it just out of pure love and because he's such a giving person. So his first song is actually The Boxer by Simon and Garfunkel. So Faye's going to play that, and then we're going to welcome him to the stage.
I am just a poor boy, my story seldom told. I have squandered my resistance for a pocket full of mumbles, such are promises. All lies and jest, still a man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. When I left my home and family, I was no more than a boy, in the company of strangers, in the quiet of a railway station, unscared, laying low, seeking out the poorer quarters, where the ragged people go, looking for the places only they would know. Lie, 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 lie. Asking only workman's wages, I came looking for a job, but I get no offer. Just to come on from the whores on 7th Avenue. I do declare, there were times I was so lonesome, I took some comfort there. Lie, 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 lie. Wishing I was gone, going home, where the New York winters aren't leading me, going home. In the clearing stands a boxer and a fighter by his trade, and he carries the reminders of every glove that laid him down or cut him, till he cried out in his anger and his shame, I am leaving, but the fighter still remains. Lie, 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 lie.
Fan, so that's really no, I'm going to talk about the memories of from the tenements coming to Ballyfermot. So just I was thinking of it the other night, if I can bring it back to 1955. Now I'm not going to go from 1955 to 2022, but we were walking up North Great Georgia Street, and there was my mother and my sister, and in 1955 I was 3-year-old, and my sister was 7-year-old, and we were heading up to the Loretta Convent, where my sister was in school there, and my mother asked the sisters would they take me in at 3-year-old to sit with my sister, and that was it was a very common thing. There was a lot of other little children sitting with their siblings there as well, where their mothers would be doing something and the fathers would be working in England and so on. But My mother, why she did that was because she worked in the ESB, cleaning the offices in Fleet Street. And then she would come back and take me out of the class, and we'd go to maybe Hill Street Playground or Mount Joy Playground. And then we'd come back and collect Gilda, and we'd head down to 31 North Great Georgia Street. Now 31 North Great Georgia Street was a tenement house, and there was 8 families there. And funny enough, I was talking to one of the lads here tonight who was one of them, and four of them families came to Ballyfermot. Now, when she, where am I now? Yeah, my mother was widowed from 1953 and right to 2021 when she died, or sorry, 2001 when she died. And she had to work hard, like all the women had to work hard then. We would, when we would collect a sister, as I say, we'd go back into, if I could bring you into 31 North Great Georgia Street, I'll tell you what it is. When you went to the door was open 24/7. So there was people coming and going all the time. And we lived at the back of the hall. The hall was very badly lit, and we lived way down the back in a room there. And there was a kind of a divider that would hide the bed. And then we had a stove and a paraffin heater and so on. But we had 2 utensils that was very important. One was the pole, and the other was the grey bat, the small grey tin bat. And the reason we had that was because we were sharing a toilet upstairs for 8 families and a bath. We never took a bath in the actual Georgia Street. Every Saturday would be wash day and the fine comb. If you remember the fine comb going through, catching all these little things in your head. So that was how we lived in North Great Georgia Street. And then my mother told me we're getting keys to a new house. Now the new house was only up the road. It was number 7 Buckingham Street. And in there, again, it was, the living was something similar to the way we had to live in Georgia Street, sharing the family, sharing the toilets and so on. And when the toilet, the only thing we used during the day was the toilet. And we wouldn't use it at night because you'd have to come out into the hall, the dimly lit hall, up the stairs, and there was never a bulb in the toilet anyway, and there was no daylight coming into it. So what we would do is, we'd have to, naturally enough, use the power at night. But during the day we used to use it, and I always said that we were the most read kids, really, because the newspapers and so on would be in the toilet, and then become very useful for what you wanted them after that, you know, but we better not talk about that too much here tonight. So that was the same now, as I say, in Buckingham Street, and we lived next door to, funny enough, a stew house, and there was people coming and going all the time. And then the mother told us, what happened there in Buckingham Street, really a twist of the tale. My uncle used to come home from England on the building, and he came home and he was there just over the Christmas, or just before the Christmas, and my mother was making the puddings, and she used to send one up to his sister in Cavan. When he'd be going up then, he'd spend the Christmas with her. But she made the puddings, put them on the rungs of the fire. If you remember, the rungs used to go in and out of the fire. So we have them here in Ballyfermot as well. And she put the 2 puddings on the fire. And she had to go out and left the uncle in charge of us. And what happened was, I don't know whether we were messing in the house or what, myself and my sister, but the puddings fall off the fire and scalded my sister's legs. So she ended up in hospital in Christmas 1957, and we had to go in and visit her there. Now, it was soon after, whether this was the twist of the tale, it was soon after my mother said again, we have the keys of a new house. And of course she mentioned it's in Ballyfermot. Now she could have said Timbuktu, I didn't know where Ballyfermot was, you know. And the new house, we were thinking, we're going to have to share this again, you know. So no, she said, this is our house, it's going to be no sharing, we're going to have a back garden and so on. So anyway, the time came to move, and the lorry pulled up outside the door. And we loaded a little bit of furniture that we had. And we headed out. It was lashing rain that night. I remember we were in the cabin, it was lashing rain, and we were leaving the lights of Dublin. And I know it's 4 miles to Dublin town from Ballyfermot, but it seemed like 50 miles that night, between the wipers going and leaving the city and going into the dim lit. But then we could see the lights of Ballyfermot. And we pulled off Ballyfermot Road, we went onto the parade and then onto the drive. And we stopped 17 doors up, and we were in 33 Ballyfermot Drive. And how we knew that house was, the tins was still on the window. You might remember going back, they put the tins on the window so there'd be no breakages. And I remember running up and waiting on my mother anxiously to open the door. And when she did, we switched on the lights. Of course, there was no lights, came on. So with that, anyway, we managed to get a few candles. We lit the candles, and we noticed there was no lights, no bulbs in the bulb holders. So it was kind of a night for the bed. It was cold, wet, and we threw the mattress on the ground upstairs in the front room. And the three of us jumped into the mattress. And anyway, we slept, and the next morning when we woke up, there was a glimmer of light coming through the tins. And we could see that we had a wardrobe. We could see then that we had an open fire in the front room. Went out onto the landing, and there was the bath and the toilet. Unbelievable. That meant the pole was going for it, and the tin bath. So with that, anyway, went downstairs and couldn't believe it. A front room, which became a very posh room, the parlour room, only for visitors, and then we had the coal hole. And then we went out through the kitchen and out the back. And our back was like everyone else's, full of weeds and extended right down. And Ballyfermot Parade's back came up to meet us, so it looked like the houses in Ballyfermot Parade was way, way ahead, especially when you look out a window at night and see the flicker of light. But no, as I say, good times, and I just did some other thing here. Where was it? I wrote a poem in 2003 called Growing Up in Bally in the 50s, 60s and 70s. And the verses that I wrote was, I remember waiting that day for the lorry to pull up. We had our furniture ready just to load up. We were moving to a housing estate. The year was 55. My mother's sister and myself, our lives came alive. And they certainly came alive with, out on the streets, there looked like hundreds of people. We met friends there. We went into the LaSalle. My sister went to the Dominican. And just the people, the clubs we joined and the people that brought us on, guided us through those clubs and all, they left me with very many happy memories here in Ballyfermot. And I just, in that poem, you might see that I said the year was 55. I remember writing the poem in 2003, and I couldn't get out to match 58, so I had to go 55. So it's a license, a poetic license. Thank you, thank you.
This song you chose, the Black Velvet Band.
The Black Velvet Band, this is my mother's song. Right. And it was a bit of a party in the parlour, in the posh parlour house, it says that song would be always sang.
Oh, great listen to your memories. In a neat little town they call Belfast, apprentice to trade I was bound, and many the hours sweet happiness I spent in that big little town. A sad misfortune came over me, which caused me to stray from the land, far away from me friends and relations, betrayed by the Black Velvet Band. Her eyes they shone like diamonds, I called her the Queen of the Land, and her hair hung over her shoulder, tied up with a black velvet band. I took a stroll down Broadway, leaving not long for to stay, when who should I meet but a pretty fair maid, a traipsing along